Good evening. Welcome to Kingdom Lum Small Town Underground. This is unannounced tonight. Trying to get back into the swing of things. So, welcome to the show. I've got a few things to cover. We won't be on very long tonight. And what I'm primarily doing is I've updated several things behind the scenes. Our internet has been updated, the streaming software has been updated, a bunch of different stuff. So it kind of looks the same, but it should look just a little bit different. So posting this to a few groups here, and I'm going to be messing with things for just a minute to make sure that it's all going through. So I have, let's see, chats. First off, we're only going to be on YouTube tonight, and we're going to be on Facebook because this new streaming software that is multi-streaming, Rumble is crazy. I like Rumble a lot, but it's so hard to use. So they don't have like a restream tool where you can put all of your like the same way that Facebook and YouTube and everything else, you just can't do it. So I'm really like to see if I could pull up comments here, but I can get them, but the problem is I can't see them. So I could probably see them like this to see if anybody is see, I don't know how to embed the comments. So okay, I do see some comments here, and I don't know how to. Okay, Jeff Conley looking good, Antonio Jones looking good, man. Thank you. Okay, so I'm just gonna tell y'all what I've done. So I'm using OBS because I used Streamlabs for like a year, and we had this horrible microphone problem. And I'll go back and check the messages that I could not solve on my own. No matter how many people who helped me, it's been crazy. So I decided to go a different route, and so far this seems to be working pretty good. And so I will have better capability of bringing on online guests, which we've got a slew coming up. And then this stuff is actually a little more like user friendly, and it's easier to lock everything in place. I mean, it's just much better. I kind of skipped over this and thought that a paid service would be better, and it turns out it wasn't that much better at all. So far so good. Please let me know that you can hear me. Just let me know that it's going out. I also upgraded our internet here, and the computer processor. Everything has been upgraded because we're going to get serious about this. And we got a lot more content to be bringing. I'm still going to be doing my situational awareness videos. That'll be a separate thing, but it'll go out, and I'll just have to figure out what I can do to get this on Rumble, because everybody I talk to has a tough time with Rumble. And so anyway, I'm not going to stay on long. So far, so good. Everything looks good. Thank you, Jeff. It says, sounds good. Upgrade, very worthwhile. This is going to be a much more stable system, and literally with the upgrades I've made, I'm using 0.5% of my CPU, which is pretty wild, because before, especially with the internet, I was getting up to 30-40%, almost half of the CPU usage. So good. We're making changes in the right direction. So with my limited time, I haven't been able to do a whole lot other than the intro and all that. So you can always support me by going to givesendgo.com/smalltownunderground. Anything that you donate there goes straight into the show. It's not for personal use or anything like that. It is to keep things running, because I have added of course, a pay service to be able to stream in multiple places, and it's just the way it goes. So if you are ever so inclined to give, that's where you can go. I don't have anything else set up, and it's a cool, it's a Christian website that helps out. And I actually requested prayer from Give Send Go, and I wasn't even sure what I was doing, right? So I was messing around with it, and I'm helping another group get some things going. And I hit the request prayer button, and I couldn't believe it. But about 2 days later, I got this phone number, and it didn't look like a spam call, and I answered it. And it was somebody from Give Send Go that said, hey, you requested a prayer. And I said, yes, I actually did. And they prayed with me over the phone, and they'd actually went and looked at my campaign and was reading things, and they had like a whole summary, and I was blown away. I was like, wow. Because a friend of mine had recommended Give, Send, Go to me, and I mean, like I'm getting cold chills on talking about it now, because literally they said a prayer with me over the phone, and like, you know, that was amazing. It was absolutely amazing that they did that. So givesendgo.com/smalltownunderground. Any donations go right back into the show. You have my word, trust me. Like I said, I am updating. So I'm not going to keep you very long. It's going to be annoying that I can't see. Okay, I can see the comments. So I thank you, Sharon, for watching. Sharon is with me nearly every week, and you're a blessing to me. I'm amazed that people want to hear me even talk on this thing. So, Zach, it's good to see you tonight. I tried to call you while you were live and didn't realize until afterwards. My bad. Sorry. No problem. Did you use the new camera yet? Yeah, we've done a lot of very, very testing out of the new camera. It's down on the floor. The camera that I bought is great, and I plan to do a lot of content with it. Now that the vacation's over and everybody's getting back into the work schedule. But rest assured, I am taking, like I said, if the Give, Send, Go, the donations that I'm making are going to help me pay for this camera, and they are also have allowed me to create up another workstation where I've got editing software. I'm going to be able to really do a deep dive and dig in, and it won't be here at the studio. It's going to be at my home where I can be it with my family, and then, you know, when things kind of settle down in the evenings, I can jump right on and I can edit a bunch of stuff and put out some good quality content. So lots of stuff coming. I do have a lot of content that I filmed, but it was basically a test phase, right? We were playing with it, playing with the lighting. Some of it was not in stereo and mono. I've got some lapel mics and different things coming. So, but a ton of events are coming up. So, okay, let's see. But yes, we are going to continue to just create and bring out good quality content. So I'm looking very, very forward to all of that. Antonio says, wow, so great. I appreciate it. And you guys need to check out Gwinnett War Room too. Antonio Jones, who created he redid a song that's an awesome song. I think it's from Hercules. If you haven't seen it yet, we should post some links. But Antonio Jones, he is a great Patriot fighter for the Gwinnett War Room. If you don't know about him, or if you're not following him, you need to follow him. There's a whole lot of good Patriot people out there that's creating content. Apostolic Conservative Will Jones, Lucretia Hughes. You know, a lot of us are out here in the ditches, man. We're going to town, so we need to support each other. So. Zachary says, bro, I can see the depth in your face. Well, now, hang on. I'm not using this new camera yet, so maybe it's the new software, but the internet is like top-notch right now. So I figured, you know, I'm living out in the sticks, and I'm trying to cut these corners, so I don't think we're going to have much problem anymore with dropout and everything like that, because we've really upgraded the internet. So it's Jeff says, wow, didn't know that about Give, Send, Go. I didn't either, Jeff. I hit the button on accident. But like I said, I was blown away that they actually prayed with me, and every time that somebody gives a donation, of course, you know, Give, Send, Go, you can donate to them, but they also take proceeds out of it. So at least I have no issue with any service that is allowing me to have money to create more for the show, right? But the fact that I can support them at the same time, somebody who would literally call and pray with you. I mean, it's a beautiful thing. We need so much more of that in this country. So, and all right. So let me go back, because we're going to kind of start the show. And like I said, I'm not going to stay on here long tonight. I got so many things planned. But I'm very happy that this is working. All I got to do is get these comments over where I can see them. But I'm just kind of swapping back and forth. So here we're going to talk about brain freeze Biden. I know you might be worn out, but I found a very interesting clip that I want to play. So we're going to play a couple of minutes of this. Of course, we're going to set this up, right? This is from the Telegraph, and Biden appears to freeze during the Juneteenth celebration at the White House. So, I mean, just get the visual if you haven't already seen this yet. Here we go. Okay, let me pull this up here. I want you to look at his hands, man. Just this empty vessel look in his face. And he's not even, I mean, he's frozen. I don't think the man knows. He cannot know what's going on right now. The look of confusion on his face, And that right there, that's like a smile of desperation, like he really, really doesn't know what's going on. I mean, which he looks creepy. He looks creepy as all get out in that. Oh, here's another one.
Grandmother of Juneteenth.
Did you? Let's go back to this.
She knows so long as she was denied, our freedom can never be secured.
What?
The decades-long march brought her here to the White House when she stood by my side as I signed the Juneteenth federal holiday.
I didn't even hardly understand any of that. This is the leader of the free world, y'all. I mean, we got some problems here. We have some problems going on here. This is crazy. Now, we're seeing these daily. This is nothing new out under the sun with Biden, but it is getting worse. It is progressively getting worse, okay? That's scary. I mean, we are America, top notch. We're the leader of the free world, and this is who we have. Now, remind you, what is it? A couple of weeks in July, they're going to sentence Donald Trump to possible prison. Okay, America first. But this is what is going on. It's like an alternate reality. We've covered it ad nauseum, but like if you haven't seen these clips yet, because this now, but you cannot believe your lying eyes, okay? But I want you to hear Karine Jean-Pierre. It's a couple minutes long, and I won't pull it up. But you gotta listen to this. I mean, because I'm insulted. I'm insulted. Number one, this is definitely elder abuse, right? I mean, Joe Biden's wife should be absolutely ashamed of herself for her letting even her husband go through this. And of course, the Democrat Party, they're sitting there. Oh, this is normal. He's okay. He's the best he's ever been. I mean, this kind of logic, this kind of logic is what's going to. I mean, it's going to destroy us. I mean, how in the world can anybody take this seriously? But I want you to listen, because some of this has been hitting the airwaves, but you have to listen to not only the desperation in her voice, but literally what she tells you, that these are cheap fakes. Like, you're not supposed to even believe. I mean, for all I know, Joe Biden is a Chuck E. Cheese, doll. I don't understand. Just listen. Here we go. So I'm going to play this. You got to hear this.
Two instances in recent days where leaders, former President Obama and Giorgia Meloni of Italy, they physically put hands on the president to guide him and show him, give stage directions. Are they doing that on their own, or has anybody asked them to run the show like that?
First of all, let me spoke to the most recent, right? And as we saw on Saturday, President Obama's office put out a statement. So I would refer you to that statement about what was being accused in those by others. And he said this did not happen in the sense of what people were saying they were seeing, right? Or what was being falsely reported. That they were seeing.
The camera is falsely reporting.
President Obama, President Biden have a relationship. They are friends. They're like family to each other. And I think that's what you saw. You saw the president put his hand on the back of President Biden, and they walked off the stage after taking questions or at an event taking questions from Jimmy Kimmel. That is what you saw. But I would refer you to President Obama's office statement. They talked about this, they discussed this, and they came out with it pretty quickly.
And Meloni,
all right.
You wanted to say something about
Meloni. I don't have anything. I don't know specifically what happened with Meloni.
the wandering, the parachutist?
Oh, I mean, look, that was, as I said, it was a cheap, a cheap fake. That was definitely a cheap fake. It was. This was
Oh my God!
widely
So you go back and
fact-checked.
watch that full
That
clip.
video
A
was
cheap
widely
fake.
fact-checked,
This is what they're.
including by
What she's saying, that this stuff is a cheap fake. Like everything is absolutely fine. Oh, Barack Obama and Joe Biden are friends, and he was just putting his hand on his back and leading him around the stage. I mean, what kind of world are we living in, folks? Where I mean, like, I find this insulting. I'm insulted, that they're. I mean, like, I'm almost at a loss for words. Like, how could not any one of those reporters just holler BS? Like, will you stop with the BS? I mean, and they're sitting there having to just kind of look and be like, I mean, God have mercy. Where are we at? I mean, if this is not the upside down world, I don't know what is. But I mean, the sustainability. I mean, we've turned the presidency into a joke in the first place. We're killing our justice system, all of our institutions. We're literally this close to a depression in this country, civil war. Don't get me started there yet. But I mean, and this is what's passing. I mean, are they going to run this, man? Like, what on earth do they think that they can accomplish with Joe Biden? Now, obviously, we know he's the puppet president. I mean, he literally is the Chuck E. Cheese doll, right? A complete empty vessel. But like, how do you reason with somebody who thinks that that's okay? Obviously, you can see it just as clear when they say puppet president. I mean, there's no argument there. But we have people in this country that are like, "Yep, we gotta go. This has got to go. We're great. Trump is evil, bad man." This is insane to me. Insane to me. I mean, obviously now you can understand that this is all by design. It's the same thing we talk about all the time. There's no coincidences here. Okay? They don't give two craps about you and me. They don't care about this country. They want this country to be, well, the society, the American dream to be destroyed. That's the only explanation that can explain how the idiocracy that you're seeing. I mean, like, even the movie Idiocracy, which I've seen like 50 times, doesn't even compare to the idiocracy of what we're seeing in real life, right? Like, and they went pretty wild with that movie, but like, this is beyond the pale. I mean, absolutely beyond the pale. So, I mean, I was just blown away, and so, I mean, what else can you say about that? So we're not all doom and gloom tonight, by the way. So I wanted to cover this story real quick too, because this is something that caught my eye. Let me pull this up. But I think this is very important, and I'm going to tie all this in like I normally try to, right? But I'm going somewhere with all this. But this is from Bloomberg. Now, this is a few days, the 18th actually. Well, this says yesterday, but they must have reposted it. I read this article a few days ago, but in Bloomberg Real Estate, I live in hell. Anti-growth fervor grips U.S. South after pandemic boom. Now, where are we at primarily? We're in the South, right? So I want you to listen to a little bit of this, okay? According to this article, in Gallatin, Tennessee, house prices have jumped by 2/3 since the pandemic. Let me make sure that's up here. Yep. And one local commissioner incensed at nearby home buildings said she lives in hell. So many Californians have moved to the booming state that locals fear their lefty politics migrated with them, and lawn signs target the greedy developers they say are swallowing up farmland. Tennessee and several of its neighbors in the U.S. South are facing an anti-growth backlash after turbocharged migration helped boost the region's population by 2.7 million people. Now, this is this article admitting this, all right? Now, we know there's 30-plus million illegals that are in this country, but they're saying in the South region alone, it's been boosted by 2.7 million people, the size of Chicago. So think about that, for example, the size of Chicago. That's just, that number is just, okay? I mean, that's a wild number to have, okay? And That's not all illegal migration, by the way. That was just an antidote to that. But as traffic snarls once in sleepy downtowns, apartment complexes replace meadows, and municipal water systems strained under new demand, passions are running high in a way that goes beyond regular NIMBYism. So it goes all through. I mean, it talks about the 8.5% growth. I urge you to read the article. I'd like to post it up here later, but man. So think about this, for example, all of this, the migration from all of these crap hole cities, right? And we know this, we've seen this. We're looking at all these crap hole cities all over the U.S. and people are fed up and they're moving out and they're trying to get out into the country. And so people like you and me that we've lived here for most of our life, all of our life, and we're growing through this crazy recession where the inflation is through the roof, right? $100,000 house is now worth $400,000. I mean, in the grand sense of the word, but we're living through this now. Like it's caught up to the South. But when you can literally, you're struggling here to pay bills, rent, buy food, get your kids through school, all these things, and literally these houses that are no better or worse off than anywhere else, somewhere like in California where inflation's been out the roof for years. $100,000 house out there is worth $1 million. And these people can literally, I can't tell you how many, and I know there's a lot of real estate people that would back this up, how many people that are moving from California, Vermont, all different types of areas, New York, and they're literally sold, a depleted house for God knows what, and they're buying houses down on the South Side unseen. Now, there's no law against it, but my point is you've seen this article. If you read and go into the meat and potatoes, it's rather alarming. But two things here, these people are buying our farmland and our homes and all these places in our communities, and they're literally buying them like cash money. Sometimes $10,000-$20,000 above the asking price, sight unseen, and they're moving right in while they get to live it up while we're still going to work and we're still trying to make ends meet. I mean, hey, God bless capitalism. God bless entrepreneurship. I understand. I mean, technically you could sell your home here, but what would be the point of it? Because you couldn't afford anything else, right? But, so we've got that going on. And then and I'm a Yankee by birth, right? I was born in Chicago. I know exactly what I'm talking about. I got a family out in California. So it's not like I'm biased here about this, but I'm simply explaining the situation that is the reasoning why people are kind of getting upset, right? With all this migration. Not to mention that our state of Georgia, our governor is very, he's pro, they want to tear down, they just want to plow up every field and put a shopping center in this place. They want to plow up all the farmland, and they want to, and put up the warehouse. I mean, this state, this growth, this joint development growth, and we're seeing it all over the place. And our commissioners, and they all want them to be in construction and in building, and we're just paving the state away. And all of these people are coming in, and here's the number two, especially in Georgia, right? Because we know that Georgia's new Hollywood, right? Because Hollywood is a decadent, nasty, incessant pool, and Atlanta still happens to be a city that's not generally synonymous with crap hole, right? I mean, we understand what's going on, and there's a lot of things happening, but Atlanta is a hot Atlanta, Everybody loves Atlanta. So Hollywood has moved all their trash and their garbage into our state and our beautiful scenery, and they're taking up all of our space, and our people are moving in, and all this money's flowing in. And then the ideas start flowing in. The people that live in these cities that I don't mind abortion. I don't mind all these things. Oh, Joe Biden's not that bad. And they come here and they want to complain because people like me are like, keep that crap out of my communities, I'm all about God, family, country, Second Amendment, And these people are going to bring these ideas. And why do we love our regions? Why do we love our areas? Because we supersede the stereotypes in all the different ways. We have simple communities, simple towns. We still love family and the American flag, and we still try to live together in some sort of symbionts. And they love that. They can come over here and they can buy their house cash money, and they can live right next to you. and then they've got no care in the world. And they can leave their car doors unlocked at night. And, a lot of the time, guess what? Their car keys and everything's still going to be there. Their wallet's going to be in their car. But it only works if you leave the idealism behind. If you don't bring that crap into the communities, which I guess it's a natural evolution, right? It's natural that these things are going to occur. Maybe I don't know what you could do to stop it, right? You can't tell somebody they can't buy a house, but understand that the future, we're being tried in every way, that our way of life is wrong, that our way of life is bigoted, that our ideals are somehow subpar to the new style revolution, democracy, the dirty word for socialism, right? And so every part of our life is under attack right now, and it is. And I know that we've got some good people that have moved out of these places and took up homes in our communities and become patriot fighters. They understand, even I had to take a Lyft last week, and the driver was Venezuelan, and guess what? Just out of the blue, we started talking about socialism. He told me he was from Venezuela, and he's like, "Oh, I've been in this country 9 years. My country's being ruined." And I was like, "Yeah, and I started giving him a few facts I knew, and he's talking to me, and this man understands what he has because he's already been there. He's been to the nth degree of this, and he's here in America with his family, They already understand, but these people that are moving into these regions and they're taking up everything, and it's I don't know how we're going to fight against it. Pray for them, try to set an example for them, try to make them understand that logic and reason and common sense supersedes everything, and that what we're witnessing right now, we cannot infiltrate in our communities. We can't allow it. It has to stay out. We have to focus on God and faith and the family and the working class people, So anyway, I went off on a tangent way longer than I wanted to, but that is something that people need to realize, it's growing by leaps and bounds, especially in this state. And we've got the state taxes. We've got we're taxed to death. The normal, regular people that are just living here. It's getting harder and harder to make ends meet. Well, guess what? I don't think that's going to let up anytime soon, even though we've had a surplus 2 years in a row, whatever. But it's really crazy, man, to think about it. You should read that article. I will try to post the link in the comments. So a bit of good news from the New York Post here. Let me pull this back up because I'm not going to read a whole lot of it, but you need to know, which... Of course, they're trying to spin it any way they want. This is from the New York Post. It says, Trump is building an army of 100,000 poll watchers and over 500 lawyers to deploy across America in November. So I'm glad to see this. I'm glad to see action. I'm glad to see the Trump campaign taking very active steps into super focusing on the swing states and where we need to go. Like it or not, folks, I've said it for a year and a half. We're going to still be voting on these Dominion voting systems. Nothing much is going to change at all. We've had so many good fighters fighting for election integrity, and we're going to still, we got things in the future to break these things down. But rest assured, it's going to take you and your family and your neighbors and everybody that you know is going to have to come out and vote. You're going to have to come out and vote. The Trump campaign, they're doing a ton of things, a lot of things that are coming out in our GOPs, and a lot of things that are going to be very specifically designed to get people to the polls. So that's a bit of good news because, like it or not, Donald Trump going to prison or whatever has zero effect on anything going on. That's the idiocracy, is that we cannot believe that our president brain freezes every other day and has no idea where he's at, and that's just a cheap fake. But they want you to think it's the worst thing in the world that your president has become a felon in their eyes, right? and that he's going to go to jail. And how could you? I mean, that's just a part of the upside down, the flip world. It's ridiculous. We know this. But anyway, a lot of good things coming. So I hope that you're reaching out to your GOPs. You're finding groups that you can link up with, people, election integrity groups. There's a couple I'm going to mention here at the end. I hope that everybody is making all of the right moves to get active, right? Because you are at war. I'm going to explain that. There's already a civil war in this country, and you have got to get off your hands, and you got to stand up, and you got to get involved. We need you. We need everybody. The midterms were pretty dismal for voting, especially on the local levels, so people are not taking it seriously. We've got to take this seriously going into November, and we're running out of time, right? So the last story that I want to bring up this evening is the Zero Hedge. This has been the talk of the town, a lot of water cooler talk. Military draft coming. House passes measure to automatically register men for selective service. So I'm going to read just a little bit of it. The House of Representatives on Friday approved its version of the annual defense policy bill, effectively clearing the $883.7 billion National Defense Authorization Act to move forward in a 217 to 199 vote, which largely fell along party lines. Only 3 Republicans opposed it, and I think I know one that did. Kudos. A number of controversial amendments are part of it, setting up a further fight with Democrats as it moves forward, including a measure empowering the National Guard to crack down on the southern border. But among the most interesting aspects of the bill for fiscal year 25 is an amendment to the NDAA, which automatically registers all draft-age male U.S. residents with the Selective Service system. So, bringing back the Selective Service, this means that all able-bodied males in the country age 18 to 26 could potentially be drafted in the scenario of a future war declaration by Congress. All right. The selection would be based on information from federal database. So I'm not going to go into a whole lot of detail about that, but I want you to understand that you are not getting the full picture, and it's a very slow crawl. But if you're paying attention to geopolitics, anything going on at all of the war fronts that we have all over the world, and the preparations of other nations that are literally building bunkers and gearing up their people for preparedness. The BRICS monetary system that's moving forward, it's absolutely crushing right now as our petrodollar just kind of balances in the wind. We have one of the most important and controversial elections in the history of America, right? If not the one, the most important. And I just want to let you guys know, like, we're already in a civil war. People make fun of Tim Pool for talking about civil war, but all these stories are now coming up and creeping through. Canada just came out, yesterday, the day before, talking about it's a likely scenario that America is going to be in a civil war. And so I'm not going doom and gloom, but I want to make you think about something, okay? And why you should get involved, why you should pick up the sword and move forward. Because none of this stuff's hyperbole, the things that are going on. Ukraine is not going to go away. Taiwan and China is not going to go away. Lebanon, Israel, Palestine, Hezbollah, none of this stuff's going away. It's only getting worse. And our military, our American military industrial complex are feeding off of every bit of this stuff like a starving child, like a starving baby eating a birthday cake, all right? They're shoving this in our mouth. All of this money that they're pulling out of thin air and just taking from your pockets and printing out is going right back into the military industrial complex, right? You need to understand that we're already in a civil war, okay? It's civil. It is not a kinetic civil war. And I know a lot of people are going to say, stop saying that. If you don't think that we're in a civil war, that we're not being attacked daily on every level of our society, especially if you're MAGA, if you're America First, or you don't, Second Amendment, or you're called a patriot, they're trying to destroy every aspect of your life. Look what they're doing to Alex Jones. Tucker Carlson, Elon Musk. I mean, they've been attacking him. He was the golden boy. Even if he is controlled opposition, I'm telling you, he's changed Twitter. But all of these, Steve Bannon is going to jail starting July 1st till November the 1st, 4 full months. Are taking him out of the game. Okay, I look for them to take a lot of us out that are out here running our mouth and speaking truth. They've done it before. Believe me, in all of our 2A groups, they have cut us completely out. So who knows how long we're going to be able to speak like this and talk. But you got to understand something. Now is not the time to expect to be able to live comfortably through the next few months and what's going on, because they're not going to let you. They're going to come at us every which way they possibly can. I've got numerous stories that I thought about sharing tonight that kind of lays it out, especially our tech stories, right? Because you have to understand, too, this whole Taiwan, China thing, that there's only one place in the world that makes our chips, that makes all of the processors, our chips, the NVIDIA plant in Taiwan, which is crazy to think about. Add that to this upside down, idiocracy. But there's one place in the world that makes all this stuff, and guess what? It's in Taiwan. And China takes that over, or they hit all the kill switches. A lot of things are going to quit working. We're not going to have what we need to even move forward with anything. I mean, you have to understand how huge of an impact that is in our life now with technology. But my point is, you need to understand the perspective here, okay? They're bringing back the military age draft here. Canada, they're releasing papers saying that, America looks like it could be in a civil war. Never mind civil war alone. We're talking about world war here, okay? There's no way that these conflicts won't escalate without us being directly involved. And we have crossed so many red lines. We have crossed the Rubicon so many times that literally 2 years ago I thought we were going to be blown up, right? I understand it's a slow crawl, whatever. I don't want to be blown up, and I'm not telling you we're going to get blown up. What I'm saying is, you've got to get skin in the game. I've talked about it so many times. You cannot sit idle by. You cannot ignore all of these things that are going on. You can't ignore that we have a president who is literally a brain-frozen puppet. You cannot ignore this anymore. You cannot ignore the political injustices that are going on, the witch hunts on Donald Trump, and where this is going to put us in another completely Pandora-type box. And we don't know what's going to happen in a month from now. But you have to get some skin in the game. You've got to be prepared to at least vote or get into a group. Somebody, get hooked up with somebody, get active on the ground, because we need everything. We must be the example. We must lead by example, and we must not fear retribution. We must not fear what anybody can come and do and say to us. We must make our peace, and we must stand up for the truth at all times. We have to. Okay? I don't care anymore. I don't care what they do to me. I don't care if they ban me. I don't care. I don't care. Like, I am going to do what I can do to save this nation and our people and our communities and our families until I die. And I'm activated, and I don't expect people to do as much as some of us do, but you have to be involved. Okay? I mean, I don't know how else to like poke you and prod you, and a lot of people don't. They want to keep their heads in the sand, and I get it. I'd love to just pretend like that we're not in like near DEFCON 1, but it's the truth, and you need to understand how true it is, and you don't need to worry or fear. You just need to find your place in this battle, because right now, what we're doing, you and me, the viewers, we're in a battle right now. We're in a battle to get our words out into the atmosphere and to pick up survivors of this idiocracy and to bring them into the fold. We're here to try to fix the drama and all the emotions. We're here to kind of unite people and get them together and make them understand the goals that we have. Okay? And it takes everybody. And we've gotten too lazy in this country. We've gotten too used to our comforts. and we've gotten too used to how we live and the on-demand everything. You've got to let go of some of that stuff just because it's funny to watch, just because it's a time waster. Waste your time doing something else. Waste your time getting active into this battle against good and evil, this political craziness, so we can get more people that can do better things and can pass better laws and can get rid of some of the BS, because that's what it takes. Okay? But make no mistake, they're setting this thing up like dominoes to fall. Okay? It's just plain and simple. If you want to keep the American dream, you got to fight, because it's set up right now and the dominoes are falling. Okay? This week it's military draft. Remember a year and a half ago, your president, when he could actually speak, when he could actually still talk a little bit, and he said, tanks and jets? Sending them over to Ukraine? That's World War III, man. Okay, here we are a year and a half. We got tanks on the ground, we got jets coming, and we got the military draft coming. So yeah, it's a slow crawl, I get it, which means you have time. You have time to get involved. You have time to get involved, time to get your boots on the ground, come out and support groups. You have time to do all these things. We still have time. And we have hope, right? We have hope. We continue to pray and pray without ceasing, because we understand that all of this is in God, right? So God is ultimately in control. And I said it, the last show I said it. I said, this is not Q's plan. This is not Donald Trump's plan. This is God's plan. And God's plan may very well play out in ways that we don't understand. But what you do with the time that you have is what really matters. And do you want to spend it, waste it away, and say, I could have done something to stop this? Or, you just want to stay on the train, just keep going wherever it leads you and let them tell you where to go and what to do and what you can have? Or do you want to stand up for everything that you've worked hard for? Or you want to stand up for your family, your friends around you? So be prepared. We're a lot of things coming in the future. So, and I'm happy about that. And I want to read comments here in just a minute, because I am not going past an hour. But I did want to pull this up real quick. This is a new group that's popped up. I'm going to let everybody know about it, because I'm helping get this group. Oh, Lord, wrong one. Give me 1 second here so that I can find. Why? Here we go. Okay, so I'm going to pull this up so everybody can see it, because this is a new group that's happening. And the reason why I want you to really understand that, is that there's going to be a lot of events coming through there. So there's two groups. This one is called Christian Patriot Nation. I helped set it up. It's just now getting started, okay? But they've got all kinds of stuff in here. There's going to be quite a bit of events coming. There's going to be content coming. So you can search this group. It's a public group. It's called Christian Patriot Nation. You need to check it out and, become a member. And there's going to be a lot of ways that you can get active into this group. Okay? You can really, really get active with them. And they're going to have quite a bit of events coming up. So I'm going to be posting the events. We also have another group called Cliff's Edge. And it's going to be like a musical speakers group. I am a part of it. I'm going to be working on the music side of it, and possibly speaking. I'm not a good speaker, but I'm going to attempt my best to bring the message out and to support. And these are just small ways that you can get involved, where you can become a part of like something bigger and something patriotic and something that helps spread the messages of why America's worth saving, right? So there's going to be a lot of cool things coming out in the future about that. And I meant to do this at the beginning, but I wanted to send a special shout out to Lucretia Hughes, who turns 50 today and is celebrating it in Atlanta. And we love Lucretia. And I'm working on things with her. We're going to have a big event coming up in a few months, a big event. It's going to be great. And I'm working with a lot of different people right now, just staying busy, and trying to keep my head above water because we're running out of time. And if you could just pick up one thing, just one thing that you could do to help, just to, go to your local GOP meeting, join some kind of election integrity group, check out the Cliff's Edge when we get it going, look at Christian Patriot Nation. There's a lot of different groups out there. The Truth Seekers of Cherokee comes to mind. Lord, the GRA, there's all kinds of different groups that are functioning now. You do your research, you figure out where you can fit in somewhere. You become a positive influence. Don't give up. Don't let those people run you off that you can't agree with or that try to make trouble. Find a foothold and get in there because we need everybody. And we're going to have to be doing a lot of things between now and November to get everybody we possibly can out to vote because that's what's going to matter. It's going to matter. The algorithms, the overpopulating the systems. We've got to get everybody out. So we'll wait and see what happens, man. So that's pretty much all I got. Let me check these. Let's see. Let me check. All right. So I got some more comments here. Let's see. Here we go. Where you at? It could be if the upload is stream. Okay. So let's see. Of course, Zach says sensory overload. He belongs back in the White House, senior living. Talking about Biden, absolutely. It's absolutely crazy what we're witnessing there. It says, give it a few years and Chattanooga and Atlanta will be one big urban brawl. Well, it's very possible. I mean, I'm not against development. I'm not against, I'm not against any of this stuff. I mean, obviously, I live in a rural county. I mean, it's a fairly decent-sized county, but I live in a rural enough county where there's still a lot of farmland. There's a lot of agriculture. There's mountains, all these things. I don't want to see all of this land go completely to waste and a bunch of houses, but we're building huge housing developments here. And at every corner now, they can build 6 apartments on a quarter of land. I mean, wait a minute, did something happen there? Okay, no, it didn't. They can build anything anywhere now, and most of this stuff is rental properties. And now the phone calls are rolling into everybody. Hey, we're interested in your house. They're seeking you out to offer you a crazy check to sell your house. So then where are you gonna go? You're gonna go live out in the tree house? I mean, it's ridiculous. And they're setting all of these things up, and they're enticing you to sell your property, and then of course you've got the family farm that gets split up 10 different ways and everybody sells. I mean, it's just, like I said, I don't know how much, it's natural, I guess, but it's going to come back to bite us, folks. I mean, it really is. But, let's see here. Zach says, the American dream, more people need to understand. 100% they do. Well, I think the biggest thing is getting people to realize, like, I don't know, do you need a bat smacked in the face to understand, like, where we're at? Like, a story like these, draft stories come out and prepared. I mean, what do you need? You need to get smacked in the face? You need to get your car broken into, or, to understand, like, where you're at? Like, Chattanooga, people in basically broad daylight out of the movie theater right next to the mall. And guess what happens? Like several cars, the windows just got broken, and they snatched whatever they could out of their vehicles right up in Chattanooga. It's happening more and more and more, and people are getting more brazen, and the law and order are becoming just moot points. Zachary says, it's about time the RNC jumps on board. Thank God Ronna moved out. Thank God, yeah, the RNC was just a waste of space, and now you're going to see activation like you've never seen it before. So I'm glad to see that. I welcome it, which is called Trump Force 47. So I'm sure that people are going to be hearing a lot more about this. I think it's a good program. There's other good programs out there that we're going to be exploring. But yeah, absolutely. So Zach says, Trump Force 47 Ignite Night at Whitfield County on July the 1st. Sounds good. Come out and learn how you can help Trump get his job back. Sharon says, we have to vote by the millions for Donald Trump. Too big to rig. Sharon, that's 100% accurate. People need to understand that. Okay, and everybody's talking about it. There's not a single one. You have to get off your rear end. You got to go down and vote. If you've never voted before, you got to register. You've got to get out. Every single vote counts, because I mean, Joe Biden is he's trying to sign executive orders that are going to let illegal immigrants become citizens, for God's sakes. We know that these swing states like California, Oregon, New York, they're all trying to pass legislation that is going to give driver's license, ID, citizenship to all of these immigrants. You in the rural counties, you in the small suburbs, you are the ones that have to get out and overwhelm the system. And it's that simple. It's got to be too big to rig, because go back and do some research on 2016 and understand how the algorithms worked, how they didn't know how the algorithms worked. And it was too big. There was too many people voting, okay? You have to, you got to vote. Hell or high water. Yes, they don't think the rural vote will happen. We will show up and bite them in the you-know-what. Hey, that's what we have to do. Absolutely. Lisa Adams, complacency is dangerous. We need numbers. Let me tell you something about Lisa Adams, all right? Lisa Adams is, man, when I talk about people that are patriot fighters and people that are nonstop relentless, right? Relentless. Not everybody can be a Lisa Adams. Not everybody has the time and the capacity to activate, to be an activist like Lisa is, right? Not everybody has the time and the capacity to get on here and run their mouth like me, right? But you have the capacity to do something, right? You can go support Lisa Relentless on TikTok, You can support me here. You can contact me, and I can get you in touch with people. I can get you in touch with events that are happening, right? Just like she put, election board meeting July 9th at 8:30 a.m. Atlanta Gold Dome. Very important. You could literally go to this. If you're off work, or you could go down there and just be a part of this this election board meeting, which I don't need to tell a lot of my viewers that, the Georgia election was fraudulent in 2020. It's on paper now. You can say it, and you can't get fact-checked anymore. So these are very important meetings, and a lot of people are taking their time and effort, but that's yet another way to get involved, Nope, I'm tired of the train. I am too. And Zach says, Trump Force 47 night meeting on July 1 at 6 p.m. Reach out to me. If you're just seeing this somewhere for the first time, man, send me a message. I will get these events posted. I'm always going to be posting them in the groups. But yeah, come see how you can get involved. We need everybody. We need all hands on deck for Donald Trump. The man's liable to be in prison, for God's sakes, or on house arrest. That's how stupid that this is going to get. So come get involved and help us get Trump his job back. Sure, join your local GOP. Any of these events, you'll meet some great people, It says, don't give up. We all have something unique and different to bring to the table. 100%. 100%. I can't, that's well said. Everything we do matters. Don't stop even if it doesn't look like we're helping. We really are. Again, like I said, don't ever think that what you're doing is not important. It is, and it really makes differences, y'all. I'm telling you, it makes differences. It says $250,000 cash offer for my house that I paid $94,000 in 2020. Exactly. That's the kind of enticement. And what are you going to do with that? Because you can't even buy your same house for that price. It's really, really insane. It's insane. Don't get me fired back up. And Zach says, I will personally drive you to your precinct if you cannot make it, even if you have to early vote. That's all that matters, that you show up. And again, as Zach's pointing out, I'm going to be doing the same things. I'm going to be offering a small town underground shuttle during voting season on certain days. I will come and pick you up and help you get to the voting precinct. It's very simple. That's what we're going to do. We're going to get the community out and get it going. And he says, Lisa Adams is solid, absolutely. And it says, I have the Trump Force graphic. I'll send it to you. Thank you. So I appreciate it. I have no idea how many people were watching or any of that stuff, but I do appreciate everybody that has hung out with me tonight. I hope I kind of covered everything right, but we're about to be done. So thank you for helping me with the new stream, and I look forward to updating this and getting everything better. And like I said, man, we'll just keep things rolling. And next week, we'll see what I can come up with. So you guys have a great evening, and I'll talk to you soon.